Hello and welcome to Doon Does DVD, and today we have an inside the box video, which is also a new pickups video, with the Disney Classics Complete Collection. I've always wanted to have some Disney films in my collection, but never actually bought any of them. I've never been a big fan of the way Disney release their films sometimes, with the artificial scarcity they have with limited print runs, and then there's diamond editions and platinum editions and basic versions and ones with a slipcover and a new one, and there's been so many different versions it's almost impossible to get a complete, coherent collection of them all. And a lot of these collections are also numbered, and while I'm aware this is my own little weird quirk, I find it really annoying to have a collection with numbered spines and to have a number missing. So to have some but not all is really frustrating. And so all those factors have kept me from actually ever buying any Disney films. But then this set came along and everything changed. I can now have them all in one lovely set together. Sorry, this set appears to be so bright that every time I hold it up the automatic brightness settings in my camera change. I had a look to see if I could find some way to disable that, but apparently I can't. Everything's turned off auto, but it's still doing it. So we're just going to have to power through that. This box set is likely the most expensive box set I have ever bought at £250. But it does have a total of 55 films in, so that's actually only £4.50 each. It contains all 55 animated films from Disney from 1937 to today in 2018. Let us have a look inside. First off, the whole thing is in a slipcover. Inside, the front is very much the same, and on the back we have a quote from Walt Disney himself. "If you can dream it, you can do it. Always remember that this whole thing was started with a dream and a mouse." And that's a lovely nice cardboard box with two books inside. The smaller of which, A Celebration of the Walt Disney Animation Studios. A book which goes through the history of all the films and the timelines and behind the scenes stuff. A bit of information about every single one of the films, it seems. And then we have the main event itself, a book full of DVDs and Blu-rays. Each page has 4 films on, and we go through in order, all the way from Snow White all the way up to Moana, with room for the new Ralph's Break the Internet. What's interesting when looking through the list of these films is quite how many of them I haven't actually seen. There's the early classics, Snow White, Pinocchio, Dumbo. Obviously I've seen those. But the less famous stuff from later in the 40s, I've never watched any of them. The Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Free, those ones. But then from Cinderella in 1950 all the way to The Lion King in 1994. I've definitely seen all of those. But then the late 90s, early 2000s, there's a big gap in stuff that I've never watched for whatever reason. Mulan, The Emperor's New Groove, Lilo and Stitch, Atlantis, Treasure Planet, Meet the Robinsons, Bolt, Princess and the Frog, Tangled. I haven't seen any of these. The set is 50 Blu-rays and 5 DVDs. For some reason they've decided 5 of the films aren't worth upgrading to Blu-ray, although apparently a couple of them you can get as Blu-ray in a standard release, so I'm not sure what the decision behind that was. It's mostly those old ones from the late 40s that I mentioned that aren't as famous, and for some reason 1995's The Black Cauldron. I've heard some people in America asking what the region encoding on these discs are and whether it's worth them importing a copy. The 5 DVDs are all encoded region 2, so you will need a multi-region player to play those. Pinocchio, Fantasia, Sleeping Beauty, The Wild, Meet the Robinsons, Bolt and The Princess and the Frog, they're Blu-ray but are only region B. You would need a multi-region player to play those. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland and The Jungle Book are regions B and C. So again, in Region A, you won't be able to play those without a multi-region, but everything else is Region 3. So if you're in the Americas and can only play Region 1A, then you're not going to be able to view 16 of the 55 discs in here. And I just noticed there's also a little leaflet with all the runtime and special features information that you'd normally get on the back of a DVD case. So, lovely sturdy box, very nice behind the scenes info book, 55 new films from my collection in a lovely book, and a slipcover to go around them. A very nice purchase if I do say so myself. There is, however, one problem, and that is it's too big for any of my shelves. It's both too tall and too deep to fit on any of my shelves, even my extra tall shelf. So I'm currently left with two options. I can either give it pride of place on the sideboard, and while it's a lovely set, that feels like it's giving it a bit too much reverence, or it can slip in down by the subwoofer, but that feels like the opposite, not quite giving it enough reverence. But I think that will have to do until a better idea comes along. Any questions or comments on the set, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.